I call the Assistant Minister for Children and Families.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I'm very pleased to have this chance to speak on this MPI, and what a wonderful opportunity it is for me to highlight some of the tremendous achievements that the Coalition Government has delivered to ensure that every Australian child receives world-class education. The fact is that the Coalition is providing record funding of $310.3 billion to state schools, Catholic schools and to independent schools. That's an extra $37 billion, or a 62% increase per student on average over a decade. This is real needs-based funding that is increasing every single year under our government. This ensures that every Australian child, no matter where they are, can access world-class education. This extends to childcare as well. The Coalition reforms have delivered a 7.9% reduction in out-of-pocket costs to parents since our package was introduced. Deputy Speaker, our new $8.6 billion childcare package is providing greater access and more financial supports for families who work the most and earn the least. Around 1 million Australian families who are balancing work and parental responsibilities are benefiting from the package. 75% of families pay no more than $50 per day in daycare centres. Within that subset, 25% of families pay no more than $20 per day to access quality childcare services. The new childcare package represents the most significant reforms to early childhood education and care system in the past 40 years. Recently, I visited the Rockhampton South Kindergarten in my electorate to see firsthand the positive differences that these reforms have delivered to parents and young children. Another local childcare centre in my electorate, Capricornia In Home Care, received nearly $200,000 in funding through our Community Childcare Fund. This is part of our government's childcare safety net, which aims to give the most vulnerable children a strong start while supporting parents into work. As Assistant Minister for Children and Families, it was wonderful to announce this funding with the CEO, Jason DeBaker, and his team in person. This funding will help overcome some of the unique challenges childcare services in remote and regional areas currently face. It means that more hard-working families in Capricornia can take advantage of our government's childcare subsidy to work, learn or volunteer. And families in the bush get slugged with challenges that families in the city don't often face, but the funding will help support the service to become more viable in the future. The Coalition Government has provided more than $120 million to 800 providers over 5 years to support more families to access childcare through this initiative, and I am very proud to be part of that. Deputy Speaker, this government can be trusted with education. It should not be forgotten that when Labor was last in office, when the member for Maribyrnong was the Education Minister, $1.2 billion was cut from schools through secret funding deals. In government, Labor failed to provide ongoing needs-based school funding focused on students, and they announced $6.6 billion in cuts to higher education. They cannot manage money, putting at risk our real needs-based and record funding for schools. The Australian Government funding for schools is now based on student needs. Our agreement is fair and provides certainty over the next decade. We are backing the full implementation of NAPLAN to ensure parents and teachers get transparency on student progress. We are improving teacher quality by testing trainee teachers to ensure that they are in the top 30% for literacy and numeracy before they teach in schools, and we are refocusing the Australian curriculum on the essentials. Deputy Speaker, the Australian people can be assured that we remain committed to strengthening and building on our achievements in education. The Coalition Government is getting on with the job that the Australian people gave us because we continue to deliver. Thank you.